Fixing the leak first or disarming the bad habits before focusing on creating the good ones. Realized recently that if we remove bad behaviors, we will gain a lot more than actually try to force some good habits on our daily life when it comes to our physique goals, when it comes to our business goals, relationships, or whatever it is. Even energetically, if we think about it, we fixing the leak, what is leaking out of you, and the bad things you're focusing on. If you remove those, it will be a lot easier to go from the zero up. And if we focus on giving an example when it comes to physique goals, my specialty, you cannot force a good habit. For example, you're meal prepping 6 out of 7 days. But when it comes to the seventh day, you go completely nuts and you binge on everything. If you're in a deficit, whatever you gained during the week in terms of progress, you'll be losing on this seventh day. Fixing the seventh day or not going as bad as you were before that will be a bigger accomplishment. For example, you're doing 2000 calories during the 6 days and you go completely nuts with 10,000 calories on the seventh day. If you actually have a cheat meal, which is around, let's say, 1,000 calories, perfect progress. This will be a lot more fruitful than giving away 10,000 calories in bad foods, feeling guilty, feeling bloated after that, retaining water, and all that. So, when it comes to any type of behavior in our life, if we disarm the bad habits first and we identify where we are failing, let's say it like that, it will be a lot easier to then, when we don't have a leak, be able to build from the ground up and identify with some new behaviors that are going to help us accomplish our goals. Whereas being stuck in between, constantly wondering which identity to fit, because this is all habits are actually old habits of the old identity you have and the new identity that you want to get to. Whenever you have a choice, let's say you have your meal prep but you decide to go out and have some type of food that is not on your meal plan, you are feeding the old identity that is used to binging. Whereas if you choose the meal prep you have already brought with you, you will be feeding the new identity. And that is actually how we change. Let's change. You rewire the neural pathways in your brain. And for me, it took years whenever I go out with my friends to be able to say no and to, to see it as my new normal. Firstly, as my new normal, now as my normal, to not binge eat, to not order any type of fried food, and so on. So, yes, of course, it takes time, but it would be much easier to reinvent yourself and put some new habits if we actually destroy the old ones first. So, focusing on small wins and identifying with the progress that we made, for example, on a weekly, monthly, or yearly basis. When you look, let's say, 3 months ago, the choices you were making and the choices you're making today, this is the progress you need to be looking for. Perfection is not going to fix anything, especially for somebody that's been in these old habits for 20 years. Nothing happens when perfection is chased. You will fall down the rabbit hole and then it's going to be even harder to continue on. and you will have guilt in yourself, remorse, and you try to fix everything up. Start a new beginning, a new Monday, a new month, and whatever it is, 1st January. And what happens later? On the third, fourth day, you are again tempted, you cheat again, you feel guilty, even more guilty, and it's a vicious cycle. So focusing on making the bad habit better in order to remove it first, and then when you feel like you're closer to this identity, start putting more of the new habits that you would like. For example, then start a deficit. Tell yourself we are ready to put on some muscle, start an off season or gaining period or whatever it is. Switch your workouts, but first focus on not binging on 10,000 calories every time you feel stressed. If it's first 10,000 calories, later it will be 5,000 calories, then it will be just a cheat meal that's 1,000 calories. This is the progress you need to focus on.